I am live. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Please make sure, guys, that you can hear me all right, that I am talking into the mic, and that everything I'm saying is relatively clear. I haven't been live in quite a while. It's great to see everybody. And I just wanted to talk about micronations and the future of micronations. It's actually funny. When I started this live stream, I set up the idea, typed it out real quick, got ready for the live. And then as soon as I send the link out on our Discord, I realized I had a grammatical mistake in the title of the video. The title of the video is, what is the future of micronations? Which, depending on how I wanted to say it, should have either been, what are the futures, what is the future for our micronation, or what is the future like for micronations, something like that. But it got me starting to think about what it is that our nation is really about. I haven't been live in quite a while. The last time I was live, we were really quickly trying to bunker everything down for the school year. We had a lot of projects going on at once. We had a lot of things going on. And then all of a sudden we had to quickly transition into, okay, everything's almost on a pause. Everything but, making videos occasionally gets locked down, and we start to focus on school. And we have to try and plan ahead to, okay, once we start to get more free time, the summer starts to open up, how are we going to move forward? So when you're stuck in that position, when you feel like, oh, I am, in between these moments where I can actually take action and solve the problems that I'm trying to solve for my nation, you start to think about these things, or at least I did. And it got me thinking on the future of micronations. That being said, to get a whole bunch of stuff out of the way, first off, great to see everybody. I see Noblestan in the chat. Great to see you. And Kaluga, Republic of Kaluga. It's great to see you as well. Thank you guys for liking the video and hanging out with us. Again, today's video all about the future of micronations, the future of the community that is micronations. Trains says, good evening from the Eldonian Empire. Great to see you. And Master Dionite, a longtime favorite of the channel. Great to see you as well. Thank you all for being here. And thank you for liking the video. Again, today being about the future of micronations, I want to go ahead and get out of the way a few things about the future of our micronation, the Empire of Aeternia. First off, the last time that we were live as well, we were doing our first ever quest. We were announcing the victor of Aeternia's first ever quest, which, if you guys haven't checked that out, you should definitely go check out that previous live stream. But in it, we talk about that the goal of the quest was this cultural game for everybody who is a part of our community, who's a part of the prestige system, can submit their pitch for a cultural game for the Empire, and we were going to look through those and find the best one to then adapt into a cultural game for us. If you watched that live stream, you would know, of course, that Aaron Whichway was our victor. As well, if you notice the previous video that we uploaded, as well as this necklace that I'm wearing, we got a package from Aaron Whichway and the Whichway family, which I went over in that previous video, as to a little bit more information about the game, provided us some actual playable jewelry that is actually a game in itself. So it's pretty cool. We had these bracelets and necklaces, and even a full sash that we can wear, that we can disassemble and becomes the game board and game pieces. The only other piece that you need is a set of dice, not like a full D&D set of dice, like a two six-sided dice. So in fact, you can even do it with one six-sided die. So all that being said, that was an amazing first quest to start out with. Not only because it gave us something valuable for our culture, in that somebody came up with a new cultural game for us. In fact, a lot of people came up with cool cultural games for us. We just so happened to choose Aaron's. And then on top of that, Aaron goes out of his way, and his family goes out of his way to send us this package. All that being said, since that quest went so wonderfully and so well, I feel confident in our ability to launch these quests and to do more with them. So as long as you all in the community are feeling that positive feedback and are excited about the future of these quests, let us know, because I want to get rolling on the next one. We planned to have February's quest launch and then go straight into March's quest. As you can see, it's now end of March, almost April, and we are needing to launch our second quest. So if you guys have ideas on what you might want that to be, let us know. For the Empire of Aeternia, we have a few goals that we're trying to keep in mind as well. So I'm going to be coming down on that final decision here soon, and then as well what the reward for that is. As you all might know, the quests that we submit to you all are effectively these online competitions, these jobs, and when you submit for them, you are getting a chance to win an actual prize from us, something in exchange for the victor of the quest. Whoever is able to complete it gets the reward. And so the last reward was a section on our website, as well as just the glory of creating our cultural game and being named as the inventor of a game in the Empire of Aeternia that hopefully will be played for generations. The game that we chose was really simple and really effective for going out and just talking to people. Again, if you guys want to learn more about Resource, you should check out the live stream that we did on the quest. But in that situation, we want to find something similar where the more that we do these quests, the more it's things that are practical for us, that give us benefit, that we can go out and share with our local community, and also that you all feel like you get benefit from. You don't have to be a citizen of the Empire of Aeternia to submit for one of these quests. You can be anybody who is a part of our prestige system, who has one of our licenses, either a citizenship license, a foreign dignitary's license, or a journeyer's license, all of which you can apply for on our website. But Aaron won the quest. Of course, Resource becomes the cultural game of the Empire of Aeternia, and we put that section up on our website, as well as made a video about it. Now we are trying to, again, move forward with that next quest. The biggest plans that I have outside of that moving forward have been primarily based around developments for the summer. Like I said earlier in the live stream, I get hunkered down, not just myself, Tiffany as well. We get hunkered down with school, right in a patch of the fall for a majority of the fall and into the winter, and then from the end of the winter to the spring where our school semesters lie. So we have a very small window in between those two big gaps, and then as well we have the summer, which really helps us out. Now, I will be also continually busy this summer. A lot of things going on in our private lives, but that being the case, still trying to move forward every day with the goals of the Empire, and in that has been the development of the Te. For the future of our micronation, for its development and what we hope to see of it in the future, we really have to start securing some more tangible local assets for our community to use as we start to recruit more people for citizenship, as we try to get involved with other local nonprofits and support infrastructure for the people of this area. We really, really have to try to lock down what it is that we are providing, what it is that we have to offer. And so right now, Vitae, our capital territory, is the best example we have, and honestly the most valuable we have as well. So as we move forward, trying to develop a garden. We tried to develop one last summer, weren't able to take care of it quite enough, weren't able to have enough resources on site to manage it properly, and it just never developed. This year, this summer, we are trying to do a little bit better. We have a lot of our seeds now starting to germinate and actually growing inside with heat mats, with lamps giving them light. So that is a little more exciting. We're starting to see some progress there. If you guys follow us on Instagram or any of that stuff, you can keep updated with that. But on top of that, we have been trying to push forward with our battery technology and with our solar energy generation. That's going to be something that's a lot slower going, but as you followed our previous videos, potentially we have a battery pack that we have started on. We had been trying for the longest time to use lead acid batteries and revitalize these lead acid batteries and throw them in. Let me get somebody for spamming real fast. Um, thank you guys for hitting me up and bringing up the spamming issue. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you to everybody coming in. I'm always watching. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you're always watching. It means a lot. WC NATO says BRB later. Good to see you. Hope you come back. Alice Republic of Noblestan, again, great to see you. New England and New Scotland, great to see you. Anybody that I missed, please forgive me and comment, and I'll hit you up. But that being the case, guys, we're talking about these things that are getting to be bigger projects to really advance the assets of the empire. Also, like the video, guys, it means a lot. I appreciate it. It helps to spread it out. Right now, just from 4 likes, we've got 9 people in the viewership. So you guys are helping us to jump the numbers up. That being the case, Piggy McBacon said hi. Good to see you. Interesting name. I love it. Goodness. Talking about MSR Fliboria is here. Oh, interesting. Very cool. Is that your like name as a micronational leader? Like, do people call you like king or like emperor or president? Piggy McBacon. That would be amazing. Republic of Sheepland is always good to see you. That being the case, going forward, a lot of the projects that we're doing on Vitae obviously going to take a long time, and also are going to be something that is a long-term benefit for our nation. So all of those things are things that we have a hard time really speeding up the process on without a lot of large-scale development by Aeternia. And what I mean by that is that, for example, to host a live stream, to do a YouTube video, depending on the scale of those, you can get away with developing with only a couple people. It doesn't take an enormous amount of people, unless you just have really high production quality, to make a YouTube video or to do a live stream. You can put that in, and it'll obviously make it better, but for the time being, whatever you have, you can work with pretty much. The same thing with a lot of our little local recruitment efforts, going out and talking to people, trying to find local support through like nonprofits and stuff. But all that being the case, you end up with a situation where you eventually start to like run low on the amount of manpower you have. So then you have to try and think, okay, well, are we going to spend the time going out and focusing on recruitment to try and get people in, even though we have like limited assets to be able to provide to those people and to be able to like help them to support us and to just do better at what they're doing, not to mention just direct benefit for their time and efforts. That all being the case, when you're trying to scale up and you're trying to do that more, do you go more toward building assets, or do you go more toward building the community? And I think right now we're in a situation where we need to build more assets. So right now we're kind of limited in our local growth because we need to focus our time and our efforts in developing Aeternia. And so while we are going to be doing some local recruitment efforts over the summer, a lot of our development is going to be slow going with just trying to build up Vitae. Of course, the biggest and most primary thing that we're trying to do out there is trying to put the RV out there. So we're trying to repair the RV, get it drivable, get it road ready, and then throw that thing onto Vitae as effectively a little emergency shelter, a place that gives us, shelter over our heads, bathroom, electricity, general amenities, and lets us start to go out there, take weekend trips, start to develop the garden a little bit more, start to be able to potentially raise quail, raise fish, something like that out there. So a lot of that has really been taking our efforts and putting it toward developing the RV. As we get that RV starting to wrap up, we're also trying to put out these efforts for developing the garden. Like I said, we're already germinating some of our seeds right now, starting to get an irrigation system set up so that once we have the plants out on Vitae, we can actually properly water our garden and take care of it. Making sure that the area is cleared a little bit so they get extra sunlight. starting to finish up the first dwelling there in Aeternia, which will be sped up by us being able to stay out there more often, which is sped up by us developing the RV. So that is this large-scale project. You know, the development of our entire capital is kind of slow trucking along right now. There are very linear goals that we have to achieve in order to get to the next step of that process. And so everything else right now is wrapped up in the community here. Everybody who has been supporting us and participating online, everybody who has been you know, showing out as the micronational community and has been making noise and has been, you know, going out and doing all of these other amazing things we've seen the community doing. Now's our time to jump on that. Now is our ability to say, hey, we've been putting in all these efforts on our own stuff. Look what we have to offer. And also, what can we do for you? For the longest time in Aeternia's history, we have been stuck in a position where we don't have a lot of resources, you know, even for a small scale online micronation, right? This group that really doesn't have land, this group that really doesn't have a large population or, you know, businesses under them, an economy developed. We started out with an idea. We started out with bare minimum. And so now trying to push forward after, you know, years of slowly building our assets and being able to maintain some kind of consistency and structure, we start to have a little bit of funding. Not very much, but a little bit. We start to have a little bit of asset development, like Vitae, you know, like the RV. Now we're to the point where we can come to you guys and say, hey, we have been looking for allies. We've been looking for friends. We've been looking for a community out here. What can we provide for you? We have a nice high quality printer. We're starting to develop more digital products as well. There is quite a lot that we have the pieces for, and we're trying to figure out how to assemble it, and we can't do it without you. So what I'm asking for the future of micronationalism is to help me think about it. Help me try to understand what it is that our community is doing and what it is that you all need, because the more that we go forward as the Empire of Aeternia, the more that we recruit citizens, the more that we continue development of our assets, we are made stronger by having a better support network, meaning people to teach us things we don't know, meaning people who can collaborate with us and have fun with us and show the world what an exciting community the micronational sphere contains, and also how it is that we take the little bit of ground that each of us gain as different micronations and kind of put that together and use that as a vector for our own growth. How do we kind of piggyback off of each other's development? So that's something real tough, and it's been something I've been thinking about for quite a while now. And again, the last few things that we've been developing, the quests in particular, I've been trying to figure out how to bring the community together around it. And I think, again, those ideas, that feedback from you all, trying to get the Discord pulled closer into that and to be more active and be more engaged on the Discord are all things that I am trying to get to and trying to figure out just how to get to, because we make improvements all the time. I see things getting a little bit better and a little bit better each year, but there's something bigger. There's something bigger we can do, and I'm ready to find out what that is. I'm ready to search for it. Let's see. Okay. A lot of people jumping in. A lot of people. Good to see you guys. Okay. Oh no. I'm always watching, said he won't answer. This is a pre-recorded video. Got me. Sheepland said hi. Homeland said, it's me, Homeland. I've just changed my YouTube channel a bit. I'm still a micronation, but I'm more focused on my channel on what I like doing. I'm glad to hear that. Kaluga says, Kaluga is currently developing a plan to expand its territory sometime in spring or summer. That's exciting. Congratulations. I hope you guys do well with your newfound resources. Alice, Republic of Noblestan says, nice. What's going on, New England, New Scotland? I'm always watching says, okay, I'm going to keep going through some of these. Piggy says you could utilize gravity by using that irrigation system to turn a turbine for those batteries you were talking about. That is true. That is true, actually. 100%. I think that's a small added benefit, though. Like the irrigation system that we're talking about, for sure, absolutely. We will be using gravity to create pressure create water pressure and be able to move the water through the irrigation system. But I don't think it's going to be a crazy amount of pressure. If it is, we can absolutely add a turbine, have that. But even still, because of the volume of water we're going to be dealing with, it's probably not going to be moving very fast. Again, those minor ticks up in electricity generation, though, those minor ways that we can capture more electricity that we're wasting otherwise, absolutely. That added power is beneficial. It's just, where do we put our resources right now in this moment? And I think while that's good, it may not be the best use of our time at the moment. But when we do things like that, I think there are ways to implement exactly what you're saying. Right now it may not be super worth it, but as we keep scaling up, once we get 1 or 2 citizens there, and we have to start pumping each of their showers, and we have to start running, each of their toilets and all these things, then that's a lot of water moving through the system at once, and it's a high pressure and just high flow rate. So that's going to be really nice for doing the types of projects that you're talking about. I think big brain ideas, great concepts. We aren't there yet, unfortunately, but we're trying to get there. But great point. I keep one. I feel weird calling you Piggy. Great point, Piggy. Goodness. I'm always watching. Says, could you ship your stuff to United Kingdom? I could. Right now, our Etsy isn't set up for international shipping. I'd have to check in on how to set that up. I'm sure it's possible. I just really haven't done it. I will look into it for sure. I will say, if there's something that you want from our Etsy, if there's something that anybody ever wants to buy from us, reach out via email. Etsy's great. Etsy's helpful, and Etsy's also safer on your end as a customer to protect you and to make sure that you deal with people through a third party. That being the case, if you all want something and you feel like, oh, well, it doesn't say they can ship to my country, or there's this and that thing, email us. Send us an email, eternianempire@gmail.com. You can check it out in the description. We have the ability to just ship that directly to you. If we can get on PayPal, if there's a Venmo, something like that, Cash App. If you guys have any of that, I can direct ship you an order as well. So no worries there. Please let us know. In fact, I would appreciate it. Master D Knight says, one interesting thing I've seen is some people put mesh over the garden areas that catch dew. If there's a lot, it can help the water. It can help water the garden by knocking off dew, but that's all I've seen. That's pretty helpful. So they're effectively making a little greenhouse area. They're not even a greenhouse, no, because it's not fully indoors. It's just this mesh. I'm curious as to how thin the mesh, how small the pattern of the mesh is. The smaller it is, if you just got a plastic sheet, right, and threw it over there, you'd get a ton of moisture, but it would also trap a lot of heat and reduce the oxygen supply a lot. The mesh sounds nicer because it gives you more airflow, gives you the access, to the wind and stuff. Reduces the moisture, doesn't make it as crazy, reduces the temperature a lot. I wonder where the perfect mesh level is. That sounds cool. I'll have to look that up. Master DNA. Oh, also, thank you guys for liking. You guys are supporting the channel right now. I appreciate it. 10 viewers, 5 likes. And also, just let me know if you guys want more of these live streams. I've been doing quite a bit of edited content because that, I think, does best for us. That gets us out to the most amount of people. And I think you guys enjoy it. But I love doing these live streams. I love talking to you guys and just, off the top of the head, telling you what I'm thinking about and how I'm trying to move through every day, developing a micronation as I live my life. So It means a lot. It means a lot that you guys are here and experiencing this with me and telling me about your journeys and whatever you're doing with your lives. It's something I think about. It's, you know, when I go about my day, when I stop doing a live stream or whatever, I'm thinking about what happened. It means a lot. I appreciate you guys being here. Okay. I'm always watching. So, bro, how long did it take you to type that message? Oh, goodness, that's true. Santa Fe Kingdom, what up? Good to see you. Always watching. So, hello. Santa Fe Kingdom said hi, homeland. Vincent, what's going on? It's good to see you. Vincent said hi, AP. It's been a while. I've seen you growing your hair out. I sure have. How are you? How's life in the area that you moved? I would bring it up, but I don't want to dox you. How's life? How is your family? How's everything been going? Keep us updated. Send me a message when you get a chance. I'm always watching. It says nice mustache, by the way. I appreciate it. If you're talking about mine, it's not purposeful. I just haven't shaved. Also, nice beard. Again, I imagine you're not talking to anybody else. But yeah, not just didn't shave. Didn't shave. Should have shaved. But I appreciate it. It means a lot. I'm happy to take the compliment. And I smashed the mic. I'm sure somebody's wearing headphones and just blew their ears out. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that I've been trying to deal with is trying to think about in this interim period when everything's still very busy, so there's not a ton of time, but we kind of put a purposeful pause on our development as far as, you know, local recruitment, as far as, you know, big undertakings go. So that's one of the big things as well. This is something to bring up. I am really wanting to develop Aeternia's product line more. So if you guys have checked out the Imperial Market, if you've checked out our Etsy, or even our website, you will know that we have quite a few products out there, 4 or 5, and we haven't really expanded that a lot. So the issue is with Etsy, the more items that you have on your store, the more your fees rack up every month because your fees are per item. So that being the item you have, you know, out openly for sale. And so what we have to do is try to figure out where the sweet spot is between how much people are going to regularly buy from us versus, you know, how many items we should put out. So we're starting to get toward the summer. We want to start developing our metals refining industry more, our metals casting industry. So as we start making more products and start rolling things out in the next few months, I want to know what you guys want. Again, as a reward for participating in quests, we can potentially send out items. Now, you know, if it's a big crazy item, it would have to be a big crazy quest. But I think we're going to be generally starting with little small things. The idea going forward is we want to hear from you all. You know, if there's something that you feel like, I have been looking for this thing for my outfit, I've been looking for this thing for, you know, this project that I'm working on, I've been looking for this thing that would be great for recruitment and advertising, or that I could put in the background of a YouTube video or whatever, that would really highlight my micronation. I've been looking for this thing to, you know, put on our website. Let us know. I really want to help people develop their nations, and I also want to make a little bit of money. I'm trying to develop what our Imperial market, what our Etsy will be about moving forward. We haven't done a big update in a while, so being able to get that feedback from you guys and see how we can improve and start getting people excited about our market is a big deal for me. So in addition to all that, the future of Aeternia really hinges on how we balance things in the next year, basically. Again, we're on the cusp of a lot of development, but it's all right now in this bottleneck. We have to do one thing after the other thing after the other thing. We can't accomplish multiple tasks at once. Part of that's, you know, the structure of how we're set up, having a limited amount of people, but that also comes down to our resources. You know, is it better to say, hey, we're going to get a whole bunch of people together and do one thing one day and try to knock it out real hard, but then not be able to do something for a month? Or do we, you know, slowly, incrementally build on a thing over the month? I think for general micronational development, it may be better to just, knock it all out at once and then kind of hold back and then do it again. Because we're trying to develop along with you guys, because we're trying to develop with our community in mind, I really like the documenting part of the process. I really like showing you guys, hey, we're here in the Empire of Aeternia. We have been developing this battery pack from, used disposable vape cartridges, disposable vape pens. Here we've been setting up and developing a solar panel system. Here we've been starting to germinate our seeds for our garden this year. Doing those things, I hope, it helps you all to see progress and development for your own nations, and is encouraging, or at very least gives you a better understanding about who we are and what we're trying to do. I know there are plenty of people who have no idea about what the micronational community is that stumble onto our videos and are surprised by them and are trying to figure it out. So I hope seeing examples of that helps, and I think pointing that out as a part of our strategy will hopefully help to teach us better how to develop in the future, and also will show you guys kind of what's important to us and how we can grow together as a community. So Vincent, trying to update us, said life's going all right. I'm just working. I bought a PC and it's definitely been a worthwhile investment. So I'm just paying that off. I'm still figuring stuff out. Well, good luck with the new PC. I'm glad you're really enjoying it. It's tough to treat yourself sometimes, especially when you're on a tight budget. But I think when you do get that thing that's, you've been thinking about it for a long time, it's not just kind of like a passing like luxury craving thing. Ooh, this would be cool to do. This would, ooh, I'd love to like get some ice cream. I'd love to do this or that or whatever. Actually really saving up your money, thinking about something that you've wanted for a long time, and then getting that thing finally, super fulfilling feeling, super rewarding. And usually it's something that's very beneficial for you. You don't tend to like really want something in your life for a long period of time unless it's going to be real valuable to you. So I hope it brings you a lot of joy, and I also hope that you're able to use that to develop your future passions. I know we've talked some about your interests and the different various communities that you're a part of online and in collecting and doing all these things. And so I hope that as you develop who you are as a person, as you keep going in life, that becomes real valuable and real useful for you. And you go, yeah, this, I couldn't have done it without this. This thing that I wanted for so long, this computer that I saved up for, it kind of was the first step. And I can't wait to see that develop. Santa Fe Kingdom said, we have a website now. Hey, very cool. If you can send us a link on Discord, I would love to check it out. Also, I have thought about this before, but I'm always worried about how to do it because I want to do it honestly and openly, but I don't want to be too rough on people. I would love to do like a Micronation review thing. People have suggested it before. People have sent me their information and stuff. I never either have enough of them at once to really like go through and do a big live stream review thing. And I also have never really been in a situation where I'm like super hard trying to be critical of it or like go in on people. I really want to do people's micronations justice. If I'm going to do reviews like micronation review, today we're looking at these 3 micronations and talking about their statuses with this and this and that, I would want to do it respectfully. I would want to do it in a way that really gives like valuable critiques to the nations involved. And I would love to find a way to help those people like incorporate better into the community and feel like, oh, what I left with after the review was like, I should do these things. Our nation needs to work on this. And now moving forward, we have like more contacts. We have like these other things that the live stream added to us and gave to us, not really gave to us, but pointed us to that provided us extra benefit, gave us not only ideas to think about for our development, but actually a place to go with those ideas, some accomplishment that can be had there, some vector for growth. Let's see. Master D Knight says, so let me know what you guys would think about that. I was ranting and doing all that to say, let me know what you guys would think about having those micronation reviews. 11 viewers, 7 likes. Thank you guys for liking the video and helping to keep our watch time up. Right now we have, oh gosh, maybe like 1,700 watch time hours. I haven't checked it in a minute. Probably like 17 or 1,800 watch time hours out of 4,000 for the year. Since we have slowed down on doing live streams, we've been getting increases in our view counts, but our watch time hours have been a lot smaller because we do small videos, usually 5 minutes or so. 5 to 15 minutes is usually kind of the max for our edited videos. And then as well, we have been really trying to work on the development of Aeternia. So the more that you guys jump in these live streams, the more that you guys show that you want them, we will push them back out, try to get up to those 4,000 watch time hours, and then we can finally get to monetization. All the ads and stuff that you guys see in our videos, we don't get any money for that. All of that is sent straight to YouTube just because we're putting these videos out, you know, and we're trying to develop. So eventually, we will be getting monetization moving forward, and that'll be just one more revenue stream to help us to grow a little bit faster. So thank you guys for watching. Okay, let's get back into talking to everybody about this idea for the future of micronations, how we're going to grow these micronations, develop. Again, thank you everybody for hitting the hearts. It's making me feel welcome. I'm glad to be back. WC NATO says back, great to see you. Kaluga says welcome back. Always watching said, I've been working more on the farm, so it's been distracting me from YouTube because the sheep have been having babies, so I've had to be more focused on looking after the sheep or at least tending to them. That's wonderful, though. You're doing something that's going to pay off incredibly for you, not just in, oh, you know, we have additional sheep now. That's cool. You're raising those animals. You are moving for, you know, if you're lived on a farm your whole life, if you've been used to taking care of these animals, I'm sure you know, but it's going to be nice to see those sheep fully develop throughout your life and see, you know, what they become as individual creatures. It's super cool, super worthwhile experience. You're like, oh, I'm sorry I haven't been doing more YouTube stuff or more whatever. Don't worry about stuff like that. You got it. You're doing good. You're doing what you need to do and what you want to do. Enjoy yourself. YouTube will be here. Okay. United Kingdom of New England says my boss being very nasty to me last week. I'm sorry to hear that. Especially as a king of New England, New Scotland. You're like, oh man, that sucks. Why would I take the flat? But it's good that you're learning to work through your difficulties in like a professional environment, and that you're doing it in a way that seems respectful. You know, that's always good. Santa Fe Kingdom said, hi, WC NATO. WC NATO says, call me UN Unther when political, UNTHR when political, and call me Zach when not. The WCF NATO is the alliance I lead. Interesting. Okay. I guess I'm going to go with Zach then. Seems simplest. Santa Fe Kingdom says, okay. New England says, good morning. Santa Fe says, it's Unther. Got you. Okay. Abu Bakar Haswa Ibrahim says, grow the nation with what? You had like bones and then lungs? What's your thing? I'm so confused. Hit me up. Hit me up, Abu Bakar. Goodness. Republic of Kaluga says, I crashed my browser by spamming hearts. Oh, I appreciate you. You broke the internet just for us. That means a lot. Yeah, again, let me know, you guys, what you're thinking about some of these ideas. Again, the biggest thing that I'm trying to focus on right now is how to connect a little bit more with you all in developmental ways for your micronations, right? Again, these quests, trying to submit for them. The quests can be, and generally I think for the time being will be, online things. So, you know, things like, hey, if you guys like send us a piece of art or whatever, like if everybody sends us their Aeternian art, then the best one will get the reward and will get sent something. It's the same thing with development on coming up with ideas for us, such as the cultural game resource that Aaron Whichway won the quest for. You can do things with um, even programs that you would have like recommendations for. Hey, Aeternia should be doing this. Aeternia doesn't hit up this thing enough. Aeternia doesn't do enough with this community, or doesn't have this as a goal, but I think they should. All of those can be things that we end up making quests. Those can all be things that are wonderful suggestions that help us to grow and develop. So if you have ideas about stuff like that, if you've been watching the channel and thinking, they're doing all right, but they should be doing this. They're not doing this, and I don't know why. It would help them so much if they would do this. Send it to us. Send me a DM, Discord. Send it, in the general chat in our Discord. This is what's wrong with Aeternia. Send us an email. Whatever you have to do, reach out to us. Let us know what's going on. And in particular, for these live streams, I want to figure out a better way to have you guys take part in the developmental process with Aeternia, as far as the larger aspects of planning the things that we're doing and showing you guys, hey, this month we're trying to accomplish this, and this. These are the different places that each of those are developed, and then here's where we're trying to put our resources right now. Which do you guys think would be the best thing to do, and why? Like give us your arguments, your pitches, and trying to learn from the community to kind of pivot what we're doing as we grow. I think one of the other things that's really nice about it is the more engaged we become as a community, the more that we're regularly talking to each other, the more that helps us to move as kind of like a singular unit. When something gets more popular or is trying to grow and develop, a lot of the time it's just about the number of eyes that you can get on something. And so for a community like ours, it's very niche and it's very small, but wants to kind of branch out and get bigger. I think us being all really aggressive in our support of other micronations is important. I think if, when micronations are making videos and doing things, posting on, Instagram or Twitter or doing whatever, that we're all jumping on and liking it and supporting it and sharing it with other people. If we can do that, and if we have places like our Discord server, other Discord servers, other places on Instagram, Twitter, what have you, our YouTube channel, the comments, if you guys can post in there and say, hey, this channel's doing this thing, everybody go and jump on there, or oh, this place is doing this thing, everybody go and support it. We become more powerful as a community. We become able to accomplish more and to get our members of our community, other micronations, more into the spotlight and give them an extra chance to grow, which gives us all an extra chance to grow. So I really think we need to be trying to implement more of these efforts to make a tighter knit community. The micronational community, scattered all over the internet, always kind of has been. Well, ever since the internet age, I suppose, always has been. So trying to figure out how to move forward with that, actually, things that connect us as a community, things that we can do online that really bridge the gap, super important. Always Watching says you should try and grow corn. It's very easy, actually. It's just the fact that birds eat it. So if you can stop with the birds from eating it, then you might end up with corn grown by yourself. Hey, I appreciate it. I would love to. I know corn is something that we've considered and we've actually had recommended by a friend, especially like animal feed type corn, that we could develop pretty easily, and that we could grow on a fairly small patch of land. The biggest issue we have right now is that Vitae is wooded, so all of our entire property is covered with a thick forest. Obviously, it's enough that you can walk in between the trees and stuff. It's not like there's a lot of brush per se, but there is definitely a lot of just close trees next to each other. And so that limits the amount of sunlight that we get. And I know, if I understand correctly, you may know more than me about corn. I believe corn is one of those things that needs quite a bit of sunlight, and we're just very limited on that. We're trying to clear more of a spot to actually place our garden this year, which is going to have tomatoes, which require a huge amount of sunlight, and that's going to be something to figure out for sure. Or we may end up with stunted or maybe no tomatoes at all. But you know, we have a very limited amount of space. So I want to implement corn, but I want to plant corn when we have a year where we can say we've cleared a decent amount of space, and we have we've stocked up on a whole bunch of other stuff. This year we're doing all corn. It's nothing but corn. Corn every day, corn all over the whole garden, the entire garden space that we have for the year. We're doing corn because we're gonna sell it. I do like try to find buyers beforehand, try and get everything figured out, and then end up growing that corn and using that corn all at once to kind of maximize the profit we can gain from it. I'm always watching said if the birds did not eat my corn, I would have had corn. I'm sorry to hear that, but that makes sense. How much corn did you grow? Like, how much corn do you need? Okay, Santa Fe Kingdom said back. Hey, good to see you. Master D Knight said goats can help clear out all the small brush. I appreciate it. Like I said, it's not really brush at all. Like, it's not that there's no brush. There's like leaves on the ground. There's stuff, but it's not like you're wading through thick brambles and stuff. It's nothing like that. So I would love to get a goat. First off, the Kingdom of Kushti in Arizona has gifted us a goat. That's something that I have talked about a little bit before on the channel. I'm trying to reach out to do more with the Kingdom of Kushti here in a little bit, but that being the case, it has been really cool that they sent us like a picture of this baby, this baby goat, and so like, hey, this is like your baby goat. We would love for you to be able to have this. We can't go get that baby goat all the way in Arizona, and then once we did, we've not on vitae enough to take care of it. But they've told us that even if we don't accept that goat right now, that they will provide us a future equivalent goat at that point. That being the case, I'm super excited about it. I would love to, as soon as you brought up goat, I was like, this is going to be great. I would love to use that goat, Kushti's goat, for that purpose. We can't right now. But that being the case, it's not so much clearing out, small brush. It's literally like we just have to cut large trees down. And we either do it ourselves, which can be kind of fine in the interior because it's surrounded by other trees, so it's not likely that it's going to just fall out into the road or something. But really on the edges or near the edges of our property, I would be incredibly worried about cutting down a tree because we're surrounded by neighbors. And so I'd have to be careful about that. Again, in the interior of Vitae, not too big a deal. But we just kind of have to play that by ear and see this summer, kind of start mapping that out. Actually, what the full-fledged future iteration of Vitae is going to look like and how we're going to put that out so we know what to clear first, what places we're going to keep so that they're never cleared, that they are nice natural spaces, how we're going to kind of intersect living spaces with garden spaces, with, workshop spaces, and maybe even a small little library like we've talked about, or potentially a small version of the Imperial Market where people can come. And we'd really like some kind of stage or some kind of like performing area. All that being the case, that's a lot to develop. We're not going to develop it all at once. But for the little bit that we are trying to do right now, we really need to go about cutting down like 5 or 6 trees. Like if we could, near where we're already starting to develop our garden, if we could cut down like 5 or 6 trees, it would give significantly more sunlight and help them out right in that little patch. So I think that's going to be our first bet. Let's see. But that is a great idea, Master DNA. I'm always watching. Says 3 fields that I have are mostly empty fields except for the thin layer of trees that split it up into areas. Makes sense. But then that sounds like somebody cleared it prior. Like somebody cut that all down and then designed those fields out in that section. See, nobody's cleared this land ever. I think it's just been forest for as long as at least the last 20 years because it hadn't been touched prior to that. But that being the case, or 30 years, because 1990 was when it was bought. So yeah, significantly long time. This has just been area of nothing. But it's really cool. You guys having fields, especially, it's it's an interesting situation because it's almost the most diverse possible land use scenario. You can put whatever you want there. Curious if you guys have like streams nearby. Like, are you irrigating from streams? Are you irrigating from wells? That's pretty cool. Continuing on, Santa Fe says, we can make corn, I guess. That's pretty cool. Master D-Knight says, just don't let them overgraze or the grass will be gone. Seen it happen to some neighbors. The grass didn't grow back for years. Oh, dang. That sucks. I guess you would have to be careful about like moving them around to make sure they don't overgraze. Also, I think, you know, the area that we have right now doesn't have very much grass to begin with, simply because it's been covered in a layer of just leaves and muck and stuff for a long time. Again, not heavy brush, but just covered with leaves and just, you know, decaying plant matter and stuff. So I don't think we have very much grass. We do have a little bit, but it's primarily just like canopy, you know, tree canopy. So we will have to get some, you know, nice flowers and things growing in there. One, for the aesthetic, and two, so that our goat does have something to graze on. Otherwise, we're just buying a whole bunch of hay all the time. Let's see. Republic of Doistikistan. I hope I said that correctly. Hey, AP, we at the Republic of Doistikistan have been working with some others to organize a model United Nations within the micronational community and planning to host and run it via Discord. Congratulations, that's awesome. I'm curious to see how you develop it. And also, in the development of the model United Nations, is it set up similarly to a mock UN in like a high school setting or like a collegiate setting, or is it set up more like a micronational alliance, like a lot of people, you know, on the micronational subreddit or on Discord generally set up? Because I can see both being interesting. Micronational alliances and micronational organizations a lot of the time are you know, they're difficult to run, but they're exciting to see develop. Model UNs, very easy to run and set up and develop, as far as like, we all pick different countries to be, we all set up and ask each other questions and debate and you know, try to solve different issues that are occurring. But it limits how much it assists your nation's developing. Or are you saying we're running a model UN, but we're replacing the United Nations members with members of our alliance or organization? I'm curious to see what you say. United Kingdom of New England says, I'm no longer in the Australian military force. Makes sense. Goodness. I'm always watching says, how did you make your flag? Like, what inspiration and idea gave you the idea to make your flag? For the Empire of Aeternia, it's actually based on, well, this symbol right here. So this isn't the exact symbol that's on our flag, but if you check out the symbol in the center of our flag, it is called the Arrow of Progress. What it is based on is the story of Odysseus. So there's a guy in the Iliad and the Odyssey, the Greek legends. I'm trying to think of the exact name of the type of story that they are, but in the Odyssey, there's a guy named Odysseus who comes back from war, and he finds that his kingdom has been, you know, effectively taken over by these suitors who were trying to marry his wife, thinking that he like died in this war. And so when they end up, when he discovers this, as he comes back home, he decides, okay, I have to get my throne back. So he sneaks in and tells his wife to create a competition where whoever can string Odysseus's bow and shoot an arrow through 7 axe heads is able to take the throne. And he goes and participates as a beggar in this competition. He goes and like sneaks in disguise. And when he shows up to the competition, none of the suitors can even draw the arrow on the bow. They can't put it on and just pull the bow back because it's too strong for them. It's too tight. So Odysseus shows up, makes an attempt, strings the bow perfectly, shoots it all the way through all 7 axe heads and claims his throne back. So that's the idea of the arrow of progress. It is an arrow going through the eye of an axe head. And the idea behind it is to say that we are moving forward with our future. We are reclaiming our throne. We are trying to move forward with the type of society that is best fit for our people. So the idea is that not anybody can string the bow. Not anybody can successfully run a society. Not everybody can develop a society in which people are happy and maintained and kept self-sufficient. Not every society works the same way. And so only when you have the right combination of people with the right combination of ideas and the right combination of assets and supports for each other can you truly create the perfect combination and to be the thing that people need to ultimately develop a stable and successful society, something where people aren't starving in the streets every day, something where everybody has a place to live, something where people are supported in their pursuits of developing their interests in science and technology, in arts and communications and all these different things based on the merit that they provide value to society, not for some specific set amount of money that they're paid. That all being said, the arrow of progress is about progress. It's about moving forward into the future, and that's why we chose it. So this was a long time coming. This was a deeply planned idea in the Empire of Aeternia, and something that we have developed since the beginning. Before I started a micronation, I, for years, looked for other micronations to join with very little success. Most, didn't either weren't looking for people to join them, or the ones that weren't trying to develop very much, or didn't have much that I could actually do and participate in. And so a lot of it was just not actually being accepted as a citizen anyway. And that being the case, after a while, I decided, well, if I can't find a place that is developing the way that I want, if I can't find something that fits and works for me, I should create my own nation. So that's what we did. That being the case, this is not something that I recommend at all. Most micronations don't work out. Micronations are very, very difficult to create, and a lot of micronations are very, very similar, especially over the last 5 or 6 years or so. Micronationalism has become more successful, certainly, than it's ever been. More numbers of micronationalists are successful to varying degrees in the development of their nations than ever before. But that being the case, it's also something that has been super duper restricted and super duper difficult for people to get into and to develop successfully in. There's more people that fail now than ever as well, because the community is just more popular. We're learning every day, we're getting better, but because so many micronations are so similar, wanting to create these direct democracies, wanting to create these constitutional monarchies, all these things, that they have these ideas, oh, well, our micronation is going to be different because we're going to be sustainable. Our micronation is going to be different because we're going to care about the environment. Our micronation is going to be different because we're going to be economically self-sufficient. We're going to be, completely off-grid. We're going to be this or that or the other. We're going to specifically stand up for reproductive rights or for, equality and for all these different ideas. All of those things are good. All of those things are things that every micronation should be striving for and should be doing. However, most micronations are. So when somebody creates another new micronation, it's very difficult for the rest of the micronations to continue to grow, because you're taking all of your ideas, your wonderful input that you could provide to so many nations as a citizen, and you're putting that into your own project, which isn't bad. It still helps the community, it still benefits, but it ultimately requires you to do the same thing that everybody else is doing, which is a matter of circumstance, going around to the community and saying, hey, I'm just starting out, I'm trying to get things started, I'm trying to get going, and I need citizens, I need supporters, I need advisors. Please come one and all to help the new nation of na-na-na-na-na. And what we end up finding is that most nations are doing that constantly. Old nations are hitting up the community and going, hey, everybody, we've been around for na-na-na, and look at all we've done. Come to us and learn and grow and be and help us out. And the new nations are doing it, and every nation in between. And there's very few people who want to join other nations and want to develop in other nations. So I recommend to everybody that is considering starting a micronation who hasn't yet, or if you have, but you're not super sure of what to do with it, you're not super committed, I would say try to join another nation, become a citizen of that nation, help them to develop, because one, you may find that you end up much more successful and much more valued in that nation as somebody who helps it to grow from, you know, nothing or near nothing or with very small resources to something that's the biggest micronation that's ever existed. On the flip side, you have this situation where all of these different micronations, like I say, are sitting there and struggling. So I really suggest everybody look into the micronations around them, try to join those nations, try to give all your commitment there, and then if it doesn't work out and you still want to create your own micronation, you always can. Plus, there's the added benefit that now you have all these awesome connections. So I definitely appreciate you guys thinking about that. This community has like generated some real interesting conversation around that idea, and I don't think I'm the first or only person to say that, but it's just something necessary that we talk about. Real quick, I'm going to turn on the light, and I will be back. Going to give us some interesting mood lighting, I guess. Slightly better. Okay. But that was a long distraction, I should say, just to get to, I'm always watching the question, how did you make your flag and what was the idea? So thank you so much for asking that, and sorry for the long rant, but that topic always gets me. Doikstan says, sorry I couldn't fit this in the previous message. Do you have any feedback or suggestions for an MUN for the micronational community? I hope I brought up some interesting thoughts because I'm curious about it. My advice and feedback would be very careful about how you develop. A lot of micronational organizations get into issues where they start out really strong, they have a lot of members that join, everybody feels like they're able to participate really well, but then you start trying to develop rules and order and create specific goals for the organization, right? So you say, hey, everybody, thanks for coming together. I'm glad everybody's supporting. Hey, we have this proposal. And this proposal says that the community, you know, this organization supports this ideology or supports, you know, this group of people or whatever, or has like this support in a war or whatever. And they go through all of this discussion, and people start disagreeing really quickly, which is fine. You know, it's important as a part of dialogue and communication. But people start disagreeing, and then it starts to affect their relationships with one another. So these nations start to bicker a little bit, and they start to go, I don't really like that other nation because they didn't vote with me on this thing, and they never want to help out, and they never want to do this, and I don't understand why I have to be a part of this, and I only get this thing, but this other nation's a part of this, and they get this thing. People get upset very quickly, even if things are, you know, you think you've set it up really equally and you've set it up really well. Things start to divulge. They start to break apart really quickly and start to struggle. And so a lot of micronations have trouble developing organizations that can stay consistent. They either, one, have to lock them down and be so, you know, regimented with their rules and so strict and down to business that the organizations stay small and have a limit to what they can accomplish, which generally is the goal, right? You're creating this organization so that everybody can come together and be bigger and better and more powerful and have more resources at their disposal. And that's the way you solve these problems in micronationalism. But you end up kind of with the same starting premise of, well, if everybody's arguing, then nobody's really working together as an alliance, so then it's back to square one. So that being the case, I definitely recommend people to be careful when they're developing these organizations, and to know that as you develop them, you will need to figure out what your best strategy for promoting mutual development is, while minimizing inequality or, spite in the community. Let's see. Santa Fe Kingdom says, I have an MUE, United Micronations of Earth. Hey, very cool. WC NATO, Zach said, the WCF NATO has more than 100 members. That's cool. How did you develop 100 members? Are your members active participants? Like, how does that work? Also, again, I appreciate you guys hitting me up about like, yo, what do you think about like advice on this type of thing? If you want me to just review these things, if you're like, oh, you should do a micronation review or a micronation alliance review or whatever, hit me up. We will create a Google form. You can apply to the Google form and tell me all about your stuff. I see people hearting in there. Hopefully that means they're down for the idea. If you're down for the idea, heart a whole bunch. There may be like a lag. The whole idea is if we can get people to start participating in something like that, then I can learn about how to properly like organize micronations as far as what traits make different micronations successful, what kind of starting points for different micronations are, and how taking certain actions coming from certain starting points gives you certain results as a micronation typically. That will all allow us to culminate in the building and developing of a more straightforward approach to micronationalism. If somebody wants to develop a micronation, they're not just going, hey, pick a government, hey, pick a flag, write your constitution, hey, start talking to people. That's great. There will be a little bit more thought that they can provide beforehand and saying, yes, do all that, have fun with it. If you're trying to develop seriously, you're trying to recruit quickly, you're trying to build an economy, these are kind of the steps. We've started to talk a little bit about that, but now this could go more advanced and say, hey, here are examples of different micronations that have started out. Here's where they started out, here's what they had when they started out, and here's some of the choices that they made. This was the results based on different choices they made. This is a different micronation with similar results. This is what they did. This is how they turned out. We can compare and contrast these nations to the point that we can start to get pretty strong understandings of trends that will help us to direct people on how best to grow. Okay, so Santa Fe says, wow, I'm also in a NAMU. Interesting. NATO says, Zach says, WFC NATO is in Discord, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Reddit, IRL, etc. Hey, very cool. Mostly IRL and Discord. Well, never really had a war. Oh, makes sense. I'm always watching says, well, Homeland has sort of been in a bit of a predicament where the internet has gone out, which we're trying to get a new internet company, which is not as terrible. And we went into Musette over gas. What? I'm confused about the last part. I'm sorry that your internet's been having trouble, and I hope that changes quickly for you. I know as a micronation, trying to communicate with people, trying to plan things, trying to organize, and even just trying to have fun, all hinges a lot of the time on having internet connection. And so if you're struggling with that, that can be a huge barrier to development and also just for your enjoyment. So I hope that gets fixed quickly. Keep us updated. Santa Fe says, Homeland, want to join you and me? Oh, always watching says, I mean mass debt. Oh, it makes sense. Be careful. That can be a big problem. Zach says, you don't want to be allies with Cornland? Oh, goodness. Santa Fe Kingdom says no. I'm always watching says yes. Santa Fe Kingdom says Cornland is bad. No offense, Homeland. Homeland says no. WC NATO says Cornland is... Oh, goodness. They made fun of someone's dad dying. Goodness. That is horrible. I guess I'm getting off this topic. I'm moving past. Sorry, I keep bumping the camera too. Santa Fe, okay. I'm always watching. Homeland says, I'm a tribe because we have a leader, but with no crown or anything like that to make it a monarchy, and people have free will in Homeland, so we're not fashion. Interesting. So authoritarianism and fascism are pretty hand in hand. There's differences, there's distinctions. It's interesting that you say you're a tribe. I'm curious as to what, just in general, people describe as like a tribe versus a kingdom or a monarchy. I would imagine some of it has to do with development, but that can't necessarily be true in every case. There have been plenty of advanced societies that, well, yeah, I guess they aren't called tribes though. They're just different societies. That's tough. When does a tribe become not a tribe anymore? That's a great question. Because I would still say, you know, you said you can't be a monarchy because you don't have a crown, but a monarchy just means one ruler. So a tribe can be a monarchy, and it can count. It may not be a kingdom because it may not ascribe to having a king. It may have a chief, and so it's a chiefdom, or you know, a tribe. But that feels arbitrary at some point. It feels like you can choose to be a tribe, or you can choose to be a kingdom, or you can choose to be whatever you want. I'm curious to see what your argument is for tribehood. White Wind says, sorry I'm late, I was making pizza. Very cool. I hope you enjoy it. We have not made pizza here. In a little while, I'm going to cook dinner. Probably going to have a pork roast. I'm going to be cooking a pork roast. I'm not great at cooking, but this should be fine. I've been having to cook a lot recently, so I'm getting better. Let's see. I'm always watching. Did the skull emoji. White Wind said L Homeland. Dostik Sand says, we're currently organizing the MUN as a project of the Global Oceanic Cooperation Organization, GOCO, as they've been able to provide us with a platform to cooperate and communicate. Word max reached. Oh, goodness. Did you type out word max reached, or does YouTube, when you type it out, say word max reached? Because that means you had to, if you typed it, that means you had to take away some of your message to say that you ran out of message, which is kind of cool. I appreciate you doing that. You could have just typed it out to like the middle of a word and then just had us confused, thinking you suddenly disappeared from your keyboard. I'm always watching, so what the fudge? Santa Fe says, I have to go, bye. See you, Santa Fe. I'm always watching, so Aeternia, please help. Oh goodness, what's happening? Kaluga says, yo, hi, White Wind. White Wind says, hi, Kaluga. Also, White Wind, what did you think about our last quest? Did you submit to our last quest? Because I know you and I have tried to collaborate on more things. I know recently White Wind's had a few different changes in its development, and I'm curious to learn more about that. But I believe, if I understand correctly, that we've both been trying to do like some kind of collaboration for quite some time, and I just haven't jumped on it. It's been on me for pretty much this entire time. I've just been not developing it. So that being the case, I want to start doing more. I think one of the quickest ways to do more, I'm going to just move, excuse me, hitting a whole bunch of stuff. Try and move the camera so that I have a little better lighting, although I don't want to dox myself too much. So yeah, that's the idea. If we can get more people in, I said that's the idea. I didn't explain anything. We want to get these quests out more quickly. If we can get more quests out, we can do more with a larger amount of micronations. Not only because these micronations are submitting in larger groups, and so we can, you know, obviously be dealing with more micronations. It also means that we have more interest peaking in different sections of the Aeternian community. So when we have these large online gatherings, that gives us a certain ability to market in those spaces and to provide access to community feedback, you know, trying to learn more about what you guys want from us and how we can be better providers for the community. So in doing all that, it gives us a lot more options for reaching out to larger micronations, reaching out to local organizations and saying, hey, we have a platform here. We have all these people who love coming together and talking about problems and solving problems and stuff. We have had multiple successful Quest live streams where people have come on and submitted their ideas to different problems. We've tackled those problems. We've rewarded the winners, and we have discussed a lot of our own development and future planning in that. If you want to participate in that, here's how you can do that. If you wanted us to talk about your business, your local business, or if you wanted us to talk about your micronation or whatever, we can do that. We can have a conversation about that, and here's how you would set that up. That's another tool for us to leverage, and something that we can do to collaborate with larger partners and to connect with others in the community, and also just to raise you guys up a little bit. You know, if anybody wants a shout out, a great way to do that is to win a quest and to just be like, hey, they told me to submit a thing here. I can kind of draw. I submitted an art project for the quest. It asks for a drawing, and so I submitted a drawing, and I won it. Oh snap! Now my micronation hyped on the Aeternia live stream, hyped on the Aeternia channel, hyped on their website. I want to do it. I want to get you guys in more things that we're doing, because I feel like while I talk to you on our live stream, sometimes I'll reach out in the Discord. There's not a lot that I have been doing to actually propel and support the community. We've been, like I said, pulling away. We've been doing a lot privately with Vitae, with making these edited videos, with going and talking to some other micronations occasionally. But we haven't done a ton with supporting our community here online, supporting you guys, getting you guys into more of what we're doing. And I want to change that. So if we can get these quests bumped up a little bit more, if we can figure out better what quests would be fun for us all to do together, it'll help. It'll help a lot. Let's see. White Wind says, welcome back, Santa Fe. Oh, dang. White Wind says, I personally don't like Homeland because they claim my territory. That sucks. Why do they claim your... Oh, maybe it's like, oh, they're just bigger. They're bigger. They claim a larger piece of land. Santa Fe Kingdom says, just saying, when did they do that? White Wind says, months ago. They said they claim me. I said, no, they don't. Then ignored them. Oh, interesting. Also fair. I don't see how that really, like, what they're doing. I'm always watching. Says, thank you, Santa Fe Kingdom. That was a month ago. I'm always watching. Say, you just said it yourself, and then the dead. White Wind says, and you expect me not to hold a grudge after you try and claim me as yours? Oh, dang. Going back and forth. Santa Fe said they were probably joking. I'm sure maybe it was childish, but still. It's drama. It's drama for no reason. Dustic Stan says, to continue our last message, we plan to have the MUN open to all micronations, as we want to help bring together the whole community. Going to have to send one last message as the max, as I hit the max again. All good. Thank you for hitting us up. Santa Fe Kingdom says, leaving again. Good to see you, Santa Fe. Thanks for being here. Homeland said bye. Dustic Stan said, last message. Some have wanted it to be a model United Micronation, excuse me. But to prevent over complexity, conflict, hypernationalism, etc., it's looking like it'll remain with UN member states. Makes sense. Okay. That sounds like fun. I hope people enjoy it. Republic of Dostikistan says, also, thanks for the feedback. Of course. I'm very excited to see how it develops. Again, I was thinking you were meaning like a model UN, but then I'm also like, there are a lot of people ask about micronational alliances. So it's tough. But I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you pitching your idea and talking about it. I think a lot of people will hit that up. If you guys want to connect, do your thing, reach out to each other. Anybody who wants to connect through me, hit me up, attorneyandempire@gmail.com. Master D Knight says, I am wanting citizens, but I feel I'm not developed enough to start accepting citizens yet. That's a tough spot to be in. Especially because as a micronation, the amount of development you can produce is based inherently on the amount of citizens that you have. Now, that's not always accurate. There's a lot that an individual can do. However, there are certain things that are personally limiting without citizens. And again, it's about where you're putting your resources. But if you want to, for example, have a big celebration, right? You don't have to have citizens to have a big celebration. You can invite just people who are friends and family and whoever. But it is very difficult then to show off your nation to those people if you don't have other citizens who are there and supporting. Even if you can't do a lot for your citizens, even if you can't, make great promises or anything, I think it's still nice to be able to have people who support you and still claim to be citizens, if that's what you want, because those people can provide a lot of insight and will provide insight on how to run the nation, which will help. It also gives you people to show up and to represent your nation. When you take a picture and you say, look at our nation. You point behind you, and there are people, and they can wave, and they can say hi, or you can put them in a video, or you can, you know, you can hold events with those people and celebrate them. We just did our first in-person founding day. That was August 20th. We actually didn't do the celebration on August 20th. I think we did it a little bit early, if I recall correctly. But we did a live stream and we did the in-person celebration. And I still have the picture to this day of us all holding the flag up and hanging out. And that means a lot to me. It's something that I think about from time to time. And we were able to hand out awards and say thank you to the people who have helped us up to this point to get where we are. So now, looking forward to next year, to everything that we're going to be doing well, I guess it's this year now, this coming August, trying to figure out how to up that, trying to figure out how to get more people into our community so that we can have an even bigger celebration. It's super important because it's a way to show yourself your growth, and it's a way to show the people who are a part of you your growth. That doesn't necessarily rely on citizens, not directly at least, but citizens do help a ton with that. I'm always watching. It says, "Hey, Whitewind, you are mine. You are mine. You are mine." Oh goodness, trying to grab it. Trying to grab Whitewind up. Aaron says, "Hello, Aeternians." Hey, Aaron, it's good to see you. We talked earlier in the live stream about your wonderful care package that you sent us, which I appreciate, as well as your victory in our first quest. I have not sent you a Discord message yet since we posted the video about your care package, but I've wanted to. I've been trying to think of the different projects that I want to work on, the things that I'm trying to move forward with. So I've been in my head, busy studying, doing things, and trying to get together a message for you. But that being the case, I really do want to discuss with you what you all are interested in doing moving forward, if there's other collaborative efforts we can work on together, and as well, just to say thank you, to say I appreciate it. It means a lot that you've been here, a part of our community, and one of the things I was telling everybody on the live stream is that we have posted the first iteration of the resource page for our website. It's not a full page, but it is a section of the culture page on the Imperial Market website. So if you want to go check that out, it's eternianempire.wixsite.com/Imperial Market. Crazy long URL. If you just type in the Empire of Aeternia, you should be able to find it. But if you guys want to see some information about what Aaron has done and some stuff about the game resource, definitely hit it up. I want to post some pictures of everything that he provided us in a future update on that page. But I'm excited to be able to celebrate Aaron and his family and the people who came up with such a cool game. Whitewind says, welcome. Multiple things. Whitewind said pork roast at 7. Technically pork roast at 8. But yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, it could be 7 your time, I guess. Aaron says, Whitewind has a point. That's late to start a roast. Fair. Late arrival of the people who are going to be eating the roast. Whitewind says, I didn't get to submit the last quest. I had lost the files to to the game file. Oh, that's true. You told me about that. My apologies. I did forget about that. But I appreciate you trying. That I remember you putting quite a bit of effort and talking to me about the game. So I'm excited to see what we can do next. Again, guys, let us know. Let me know in the Discord. Let me know here in the comments. What do you guys want as the next quest? What are you guys thinking of? Because for us, again, I think a lot of it is about trying to build the community. So I'm wanting to do more, just kind of, hey, show Aeternia support stuff. But if you guys have something in particular that you're like, no Micronations doing this thing, we need to do it, please hit us up. Also, I can't believe y'all roasted me about the roast. That's crazy. I'm always watching. Said we do not use a currency to trade with each other. Instead, we use the system below. You have an item I want. I give you the items that you barter. You're bartering. Nice. Homeland says, on the rare occasion we do use money. So unless we're doing something outside our nation, we rarely do any sort of trade with currency. Makes sense. If there are any games you feel like playing but you don't know what games and you want to play a nation game, here are 2 options. Oh goodness. Okay. Aaron says, thank you for the kind words. They're generous. You've had several examples of us being patient. We will continue to do so for your communication. I appreciate it. And absolutely we have. You guys have been very patient and I appreciate it. Alice Republic says, I'm back. Good to see you, Alice. Thanks for being here. It means a lot. Goodness. I have been off of live streaming so long. My throat isn't used to talking for this long. I'm constantly having to like sip water. It's tough. It doesn't feel like a workout initially, but then you leave and you go inside. Oh, dang, I'm like tired. It's a lot. It's a lot. And it's just talking to people online. Alice says, I'm back. White one says, welcome, Noble Stamp. Hey, people hitting it up. Cool. Also, I know a lot of you guys kind of know each other from the comments, right? Like the same 6 to 8 people I see pretty consistently on our live streams. Sometimes during the summers it'll go up to 10, 11 people. First off, 11, 12 viewers right now. Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you guys for being here. But you guys know each other from the comments. You replying back and forth to each other, seeing each other, I'm sure, in other spaces, on Instagram, on Reddit, or wherever. And so I'm trying to figure out how to bring that more to the Discord. I know a number of you are in the Discord as well and know each other a little bit from that. But like, how do we really capitalize on that? How do we get everybody together for events, like I'm trying to do with the quest? To say, hey guys, this is a day that we're going to all hang out. We're going to try to see if everybody can make it. We're going to put together some kind of big event. Part of that's with me with scheduling, so I need to figure that out, especially as we get closer to summer, and I know I'll be able to schedule better and have more free time. But that being the case, for right now, I really want to start planning those things out, so that way we can do trial runs up to the summer. Between now and May, I'd like to do a couple more quests, see if we can't, try to pull in more support from the community, try to make it a more like exciting, like, oh, who's gonna win the thing, who's gonna come down to be a finalist, because if we can do all of that, that will again, I just think, provide more fun. Honestly, we have been in a situation where, for example, Aaron's in our Discord, and Aaron talks on the Discord regularly. In fact, Aaron, I'm really proud of you about that. It means a lot. It helps. For you just asking how people are doing, welcoming people into the server. I need to do more of that, but I'm constantly on the run. So I don't until it's midnight or 3 a.m. or something, and I'm like texting one person back, and then the next day multiple people reply in the thing, and I don't see it because I don't check it immediately. In doing that, I want to get on a better routine and a better schedule. I think having, with hitting up the Discord and keeping you guys involved more, and trying to pull more of the people who are on our YouTube and Instagram and all these other places to that Discord community. It breaks my heart when people say like, oh, the server's dead. Oh, where's everybody at? Hey guys, like a new person joins and nobody's in there. I really want us to be able to have a fun community in there. And I want to be more involved in hosting that and trying to pull our efforts while still going in the direction we're going, while still developing Aeternia the way we're developing it, trying to push our efforts through that Discord a little more. Aaron brought up a good point. Says, I will say your presence and interaction with your community will drive engagement to where you want it. The people come here to listen to you. They would go there to interact with you. Very smart, very wise words. And I agree. Honestly, yep. As I said previously, that is a big part on me with scheduling, with trying to be there. I think, again, doing those live streams, hosting those events is probably going to be the best way for me to regularly interact and to get people's replies and to get people's, kind of chain back and forth conversation started, because a lot of it comes down to, well, in order to get to everybody, I really have to spend like quite a bit of time just like scrolling through the general, but I don't think that's necessary. I think I can really try to go through, create these quests, try to have everybody come together under that, and then that way there is a forum regularly for us to talk and hang out and to go over the business that's been happening. During the summer when I'm a little more free, we may be able to even extend that into, it's a longer live stream. At this point in the live stream, we talk a little bit about just what's happening in the general, what's been up with different micronations we've been keeping up with. And then in the ending segment, we bring up the winner of the quest, and we have an interview with them, or we have whatever their prize is, and we show it off. I think those things will help me directly to more engage and to make sure that, hey, I'm checking in with everybody like I want to be. Let's see. Ron J. David hit us up and said, stop calling Noble Stand Pimple Stand. Got him. Oh, goodness. Evil homeland. That's not good. Aaron said, I feel that those who have spent any time listening to you understand that you've been doing the best you can with what you provided towards your goals. I appreciate it. And yeah, for sure. I'm definitely trying my best. I know that it can be tough for the rest of the community as well to be like, hey, we built this cool thing. I've like followed the videos. I've done all this stuff. I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to hit you up and to talk about the things that I've been working on for like the last 3 years or whatever. I've been doing so much stuff and prepping all these things. And then for people to email me or to hit me up on Discord and to not get a reply for weeks or a month or something, and to then be like, oh, dang, they deleted their Discord later or whatever, and maybe they, I don't know. I tend to think about stuff like that, but I'm definitely trying to find a way to make a happy medium. It's getting to the point where the community is big, which is great. It's big enough to where I can't reach out to everybody directly myself anymore, which sucks, but is good on the chance that it's growing, the fact that it's growing. But the downside to that is I want to still put effort in to be there as much as I can, like, to have that interaction with you guys as much as I can, and then as well to make kind of a transition for giving general responses to people, because people still need answers, and try to push that down the pipeline a little bit, try to recruit somebody for Aeternia, and that to be a big part of their purpose, to actually be a face and a representative for when I'm not available. That person not having authority of like, this is a rule, this is a thing, this is what the emperor said or whatever, but more so just trying to provide general assistance, clarification, and things that are just well known, providing people the information that they're looking for, trying to keep updates and tabs on different community members and micronations and stuff that we've been trying to do projects with and develop relations with. And that's tough, talking about how, this whole live streams being about the future of micronations and being about what we're doing as the Empire of Aeternia to try and prep our micronation for the future, and what other micronations are doing, and how we work together and build that bigger future. All of that being said, we get really stunted sometimes because there are plenty of people who are learning about micronationalism. There are plenty of people who are excited to be a part of a different community and trying to find, the best way to put their resources and their free time to good use. That being the case, a lot of the people who would do the best at it, a lot of the people who are most, oh goodness, ambulance. I hope everybody's okay. That being the case, um, the biggest dilemmas that we have in the development of Aeternia are knowing that we have so many people in the community who could be wonderful supporters and who could be a part of Aeternia in a way that transforms what Aeternia is fundamentally. I think for the better. It provides us reach and ability in ways that we've never had it before and never understood to have it. Never understood it enough to have. I think those people are the people who are currently running other micronations. There are plenty of people who have decided, I'm running a micronation, that's what I'm doing, that's for me. I wish good on you. I think that's most everybody here. That being the case, though, there are some people who I see have a lot of difficulty with micronationalism, and I've seen a lot of people who give up on their micronations and leave the community and pull out of it entirely and say, well, if the thing that I wanted in the way that I wanted it isn't going to happen at the time that I wanted to, then I'm not going to be a part of it, which again is completely fine. That's somebody's choice in life. But I feel like I wonder if that person would have found gratification and benefited from the thing they were looking for in the micronational community in the first place if they were instead able to find a position, maybe not as the leader of their own micronation, but as a high-ranking collaborator in another micronation, as fundamental government official in another micronation, and playing a role in that development and being a partner in it. I think a lot of talented micronational developers have been leaving the community for years now because there is an abundance of micronations and a limited pool of people who are trying to develop those micronations, which is difficult. And so I think for all the development and all the progress we've made, we've been fortunate because there are many micronations who are just as talented, just as dedicated, who aren't simply because they weren't as lucky, they didn't have one thing or the other in the right way at the right time. And those people could be helped a lot and benefited a lot by uniting with other micronations and becoming something more powerful and more beneficial and more representative of the people that they're trying to get to join their nations. So we're on that journey right now as Aeternia. That's part of what our future looks like, is trying to find those people, those talented individuals, and find a good way to legitimately recruit those people. Not just, hey, come, check out Aeternia and see what you think, and eventually one day we'll do a project together or whatever. That sounds cool. Trying to find people who are excited about what Aeternia is about and are eager to learn about it, and then going beyond that and trying to invest in those people and actually provide them with benefits and assets and say, hey, if you want to be a part of the Empire, if you want to actually grow us and develop us, show us what you got. Let's invest in you. Let's see what we can do to make your stay in the Empire of Aeternia a long one, something that you can commit to and invest in and get benefit from. And we're again on that path, on that recruiting process. We're trying to learn about how to do that, what to provide, so that we can get people in Aeternia who want to stay in Aeternia for a long time, and also who are able to commit more and more time and investment into Aeternia. Nobody can commit all of their time to anything. Nobody can commit a lot of time to anything, honestly, because our lives are so busy. But I'm excited for people who are passionate and who even just have a little bit of time to donate to the micronational community if they decide to donate that with us. I want to make that well worth their time. All of our citizens who are currently citizens have been wonderful about that. They've been people who are helping us. You know, it may not be every day, it may not be every second, but taking that time out and actually putting in the effort, trying to make something happen. You know, going out in their free time and reaching out to people about Eternia, sharing their stuff, explaining kind of what we're about. Those are people who are helping us to grow each and every day. What makes our YouTube channel grow, which makes this community and these live streams and the Discord channel and all that get bigger and better. And if we had one more super dedicated person, the Empire of Aeternia could probably grow like to 5 or 10 times its current size. Easy, easy, easy. If we had one person who said, I'm taking this on, this is my thing. I'm going to run this as though it were my micronation. Not necessarily from the sense of command, but in the sense of collaboration, from the sense of wanting the legitimate best outcome and development for it. That leads to confrontation, that leads to headbutting, but it also is necessary in the development of a nation, and we're looking to do that. A lot of people are jumping in. Oh, goodness. Ron seems like he's an interesting character. I'm going to go back a whole bunch. Aaron says, I'm liking the hair length on you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. My hair, for the longest time, I've wanted to train back, but it is super flat and super straight. So it's very hard for me to get it to stay out of my face. It's finally gotten to the length where I can push it out, and it kind of likes to stay back a little bit. And I'm really happy. It took me a long time. I don't know if I'll keep it, though. I may like one day get bored of it or get too hot and cut it all off. Sheepland says, I agree. Thank you. Unity says, hey, AP. Hey, Unity. How are you guys? I actually wanted to reach out to you, Unity. I've sent you an email at your at the email that you set up for the Patreon, I believe. I sent you an email. I am eager to work with you all. You are now a part of our foreign dignitaries tier on Patreon. You're supporting us at that level, and I appreciate that. I'm hitting my mic. That's how much I appreciate it. I'm going to blow your eardrums out. I appreciate it, and so one of the things that I want to do in for micronationalists who are trying to become foreign dignitaries through our prestige system, I want to set up more direct relations with you. If you have interest in projects and developing things like that, I want to try and get a representative between Eternia and Unity to actually be, a more direct means of communication. Kind of like I was describing earlier about somebody who can be there when I'm not there. I want to get somebody like that to be a go-between between Unity and Eternia. I want somebody from our side to actually make a concerted effort to start trying to reach out to you all and do more. If you're interested in that, Unity, definitely hit us up. Definitely reply to our email. I'm excited to talk to you and see what the future holds between our nations. Everyone says, welcome, Unity. I'm always watching, says, hello. Oh, stop trolling. Stop trolling, Homeland. Our Aaron Thoughts says, I will say your presence and interaction with your community will drive engagement to where you want it. People come here. Yep, appreciate it. Okay, I ran back too far. Aaron says, eventually we will collaborate on multiple host streams. I am looking forward to many discussions we can hold publicly. Agree. Ron J. David says, can you stop overreacting? Oh, goodness. Can you guys both chill, actually? I would appreciate it. Aaron says, there are several other methods that you could use to diffuse the conflict. At always watching, why choose to antagonize? Agreed. Ron says, if I ever start talking to you, maybe you can increase respect to me by not talking to me. What? Okay. I'm skipping that. White One says, real. White One says, okay, I'll stop talking to you. Okay. Kaluga says, oh my God, my ears. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, because of the siren. That was when the siren was happening. Oh, dang. I'm super behind. White One says, the siren ain't that bad. Ron says, never wanted to. Thank you. Got you. Aaron says, they found you. Go, go, go. Got you. I'm getting what y'all's things are about. It would have been funny if there was like blue lights that like started shining and I like just dive. Like you just see me like, and I like jump out. And they're like, oh, AP. They caught him. He was in the US too long. He has to run back to the tank. Kaluga says, no, I had my volume on 14. Why am I screaming? It happened. White One says, shots fired. White Wind, that's who they were going for. They were going for White Wind. He's not okay, you guys. Somebody save him. Somebody check on him. Aaron says, oh, goodness. Aaron said, activate the Imperial Defense System. Oh, goodness. It's just a large megaphone that says, please stop. It just says, go away. It's very effective. Ron says, shots fired, repeat, shots fired, person injured. Always watch said E. Unity says, funny thing is that we found out that our flag was the Russian peace flag. Interesting. Very unifying, I would say, for sure. That's really cool. It goes with the branding. I mean, did you do that on purpose? Did you know about that? I'm guessing not, because you say you found out. I'm always watching, so you got a friend and me. Oh, wild. Homeland's hitting up an interesting thing. Homeland, is that your art in your profile picture? And speaking of that, Ron J. David, is that your art in your profile picture? You guys got some artistic profile pictures. Oh my goodness. I want y'all to hit me up. Hit me up. Make us some art. We need some art. I legitimately may just make the next quest about that. I'm curious as to how many submissions we would get, but I'm eager to get like community art, like Aeternia art stuff. Ron J. David said, yeah, it is very cool. Would you submit to a quest? If we made a quest to create some Imperial art, I could straight up do like a cool online reward thing. Always watching says, thanks, yes, I made it myself. Hey, very cool. They both look good. Y'all are arguing. Y'all should be supporting each other as artists. Hit us up. I would love to support your work. Aaron says, are there any subjects that you require art for? That's a great question. So in general, I think Aeternia stuff, like as far as if somebody made art based around a general theme of Aeternia, the Era of Progress, could make an Aeternia ball thing and do it, with the other country balls or something. We've done some of that before. Maybe art about what they think Vitae might look like or something. The more art we can get about Aeternian culture, the more we can show off on our website, our Instagram, our even future videos, and just say, hey, this is how our community is developed. When we have development of Vitae videos, we can say, hey, this is what our community thought Vitae was going to look like. We've done this thing which was similar, but we had to modify this a little bit, and we can keep improving. Multiple things. First off, awesome. Ooh, everybody's hyped about the thing. I might straight up make the next quest submitting Imperial art. If you guys can email us, again, aeternianempire@gmail.com. Please email me, reach out so I can get in contact and message you guys directly about, one, what kind of art we're looking for, and two, what you can do, three, where you can ultimately submit for the quest when we finish doing it, and what you need to be a part of the prestige system to submit for quests. Ron J. Davis said, I could. I'm always watching said, would you like me to try and make it of you yourself? Sure, if you wanted to, that sounds cool. I'd be excited about it. If not, just, I see you have a country ball in your art. You could do that. Whatever is best for you, whatever you feel like you could do the coolest thing with. I'm excited to see it. Aaron says, flyers, banners, etc., coat of arms. No, nothing like that. Like, we're not trying to do things for Aeternian branding or like Imperial, cultural development in the sense of like iconography. We're more so trying to get cultural artifacts, things that we can show off as, hey, this is from people who support us and what we do. This didn't all just come from us. We make things ourselves as Aeternians, and that's cultural artifacts. But other people referencing Aeternia in their own art and media and things is a big way to show that we have support and, make a touchstone of where we are in history. First off, Kingdom of Kushti joined us and said, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I finally made it on time. Thank you so much, Kushti. We were talking at the beginning of the live stream, actually, about the GOAT. I cannot wait to see how he or she develops in the future. I know it's going to be probably impossible during their lifetime for us to go and pick them up. But hopefully we can get another goat in the future. We were just talking about trying to clear land and like setting up land for our garden. And so people were referencing, oh, if you get a goat, then the goat can eat away weeds and other brush and stuff. And so I definitely want to hit that up. And I would love to have our wonderful. There's a specific type of goat. You have mentioned it to me before, but I have forgotten. So please excuse me. But there's a special type of goat that is found in Kushti that is unique to Kushti, and I am excited to support and to have as a part of the Imperial Garden and a part of the Tay in general. I think it'll make us stronger as a community, more capable. Kaluga says, welcome. Ranjay David says, hello, Kushti. Aaron says, with ArcQuest, you might want to consider a longer length of submission period. That makes sense. That does make a lot of sense, Aaron. I would probably, have to push that one out a month. What I may do is I may try and do a shorter one for the next one. So that way we could get something going and I could get a quest out. But then also, like relatively quickly after that one, start the submission for the next quest, which would be a month out. So it would give a longer period for the submission. But do you think it would need to be even longer than that? Like, are you like, it should be like 3 months or something? Let me know. That's true, because art does take a while to do. I'm always watching, says, I could make it right now. It would take me about an hour. I could post it, tag you on my community post, if that's good for you. Yeah, that would work. Would it be possible for us to, excuse me, would it be possible for us to like, then save the image and like submit it back as like a post on our YouTube and on our like Instagram and our Discord and stuff? Would you mind if we like take the art and credit you and say like, thanks to Homeland for making this cool art for us? Master Deonite says, I think I already applied for a prestige license. Can't remember. I will double check to see if you have. Did you apply as a foreign dignitary? Did you apply as a journeyer? Let me know, because I can check back for it. It may take me a minute because I'm always scatterbrained. I'm always doing other stuff, but I can check in on that for you. I appreciate you reminding me. Kushti said, goats live 10 to 15 years, so there's plenty of time. Fair enough. Fair enough. Aaron says, prepare for the goat. We will help you transport it when the time is right. Hey, I appreciate it. I'm excited. Kushti says to get him to you. Hey, perfect. Sorry. So real quick. So that would be awesome to have a connection between the Witchway family and Kushti with the Empire of Aeternia. That's building a trade network. That's awesome. I would love that. And I'm sure our allies in Draconia would love it as well. I know, of course, our allies in Arcovia, our friends in Arcovia, excuse me. We are allied with Draconia. We are friends we are allied with Draconia. We are friends with Arcovia. Similar names, different situations, but still, that's incredible. You know, if we could do something like that, if we could have that type of transport occur, that shows one, reaching new bounds for the micronational community, and I think also showing that there is possible trade networks developing with the Empire of Aeternia as a part of it. Super exciting. Homeland said, if you put credit, then sure. Hey, I appreciate it. I'll be excited to share it with the community. Thank you. Also, if you're a part of our Discord, I will tag you in it on our Discord. I'll post it in the general, and I'll say, thanks, Homeland. Aaron says, what would be the challenges to hosting more than one quest? My time, I think, would be a big part of it. You know, when I could get it out. Also, making the new quest simple enough that it doesn't cause people headache or discourage them from submitting. Because the reason I'm trying to push out more quests is so that I can do more live streams. Of course, I can do live streams on other things, but I feel if people are looking forward to one of the live streams, like if we have a planned resolution to a quest, people are really eager for that and they're excited to see it. As well, it helps us to provide additional benefits. So, you know, we're getting community engagement, we're getting larger support on the live streams individually, but we're also just building Eternia a little bit along the way. You know, all the things that people are submitting and showing support with are things we're going to use, you know, to continue down the line. As we go with more and more quests, we're going to be putting things more and more in boxes for, okay, we need to do this quest next because we're trying to achieve this thing. So we're going to become more strategic with them. But for right now, I want to get more out there so that we can really solidify the process, and so that we can start getting good traction with the community and a good record of, hey, you know, we're doing this. I know if I submit for a quest, that quest is going to show up and I'm gonna get my reward, and I'm excited about it. But I would say those would be some of the biggest challenges. Homeland says, I've left Discord because of what Pimplestan said to me. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, why did I do it? Why did I call him that? Anyway, Dustikstan says, AP, do you plan to attend any future Microcon events? Also, would like to mention pretty much every delegate at Micro 2023 remembered us as the Micronation with the complicated name. Makes sense. I would have loved to have attended in 2023. I think the biggest issue for us is that when we went initially, maybe it was because of a lack of preparation on our end, but I felt as though we didn't get what we wanted out of it, or what we expected to. I think the event is more a way to show off your nation and to kind of celebrate or fraternize with other micronational leaders in kind of a fun and silly way. Not even necessarily silly, in a fun way, in a light-hearted way. It's a party. It's you go and you have fun and you exchange these things, these awards, and you show off. You have your display poster, and it's nice. It was a vacation for us. We spent time prepping. We gave a speech. It was a whole thing, but it was tough, and it was a lot to put together. Partially because we went overboard with it. We got a lot of stuff together thinking that we were going to be dealing with, in between all of the different events, lots of meetings. We thought, okay, we're going to be trying to pitch to these micronations, come and talk to us. We need to develop alliances. We need to develop, these key economic strategies. We need to, start building trade agreements and things with different micronations. And Microcon would be the place to do it. And it wasn't. And I think we came prepared for the wrong thing. And I think we didn't go about it in a way that was most beneficial. So I think the next time that we go to Microcon, we're going to go for fun. We're going to go just as a lighthearted way to support the community and to potentially find new nations that we are looking to incorporate into our larger plans, as far as developing trade networks, developing different projects, and being able to pitch to them, hey, this is what the Empire of Aeternia can do for you. Would you like to join us and collaborate on a project? Would you like to do, this trade agreement or that or whatever, and go prepared in that sense, instead of the way that we went about it, which was trying to, I think, research the nations really heavily and, prepare for trying to find out what they were going to be pitching and what they would have in store. So we expected to go in and be talking to these other nations and try to build up, hey, your small business makes this thing. We're trying to get into this business. So if I can buy something from you at a discounted rate, or if I can, do some advertisements for you, can I get this at a discounted rate, or I can make, this graphic design for you if you can do this for us and ship this for us or whatever. And that wasn't what happened. Again, I think that was a lack of our preparation, more so than anything on the Microcon event itself. I think it was a fun event, but that's where I think I needed to take a step back. And I said, okay, well, one, we can't afford to go in 2023 anyway, 12,023. But for 12,024, if we can go, we will probably sit out as well. Sancrotosia is hosting it, which I would love to go to as well. Sancrotosia is one of our friends, a group that we actually met at our previous Microcon, our only Microcon, and excuse me, they have been wonderful friends of ours. And so I have wanted to reach back out to them and to do more. And I would love to see them at that event. I just can't afford the expense. And in building up to afford the expense, I think we would be severely handicapping ourselves from this year's development in places that seem really crucial for our local growth and trying to promote citizens here personally in Alabama. And so in doing all of that, I really have to weigh what it is that we want to do. I'm excited to see if St. Crotosia will host again. And if that's the case, I would love to attend. I may attend virtually if there is a way to attend virtually. I want to show them support, and I feel like I want to be really ready next time we go to MicroCon in person to be the thing that we thought the event was in the first place. To prepare as how we thought others were preparing, which we didn't prepare that way, and others didn't. And I think that was again our short-sightedness. Sorry, I missed a lot of questions. Couple questions. White Wind says, White Wind also now goes by White Wind or Visserwind. Interesting. That's cool to know. I'm excited to see it. Also, again, reach out if you can. I'm excited to try to do some kind of collaboration, White Wind. I'm always watching. Says, give me your best pose. I can use that and just hold the pose for about 20 seconds. Okay, hold on. Let me fix it. Oh, goodness. Okay. Ready, go. Okay, I'm counting it. I'm saying that's it. Very cool. Kaluga says, White Wind, in Kaluga, you go. Aaron says, the preparation you brought was what the community, it's a good example of what community should be bringing. Makes sense. And other communities prepared a lot. I just didn't like set up the right way. Anyway, Kaluga says, thought it was used interchangeably with German and Kalugan. Homeland says, yes, I got it. I will do it after the live stream. Thank you, guys. Also, I will say I have to go. It's been a fun live stream. I appreciate you guys hanging out. And you have helped us a lot with our watch time hours. There are currently 6 people in the chat, 13 likes. We've gotten up to, I think, 10 or 12 at the peak. And so you guys are making us bump back up into better territory for our watch time hours this year. That being the case, I hope to do more streams soon. And I will talk to you all later. Aeternia forever. See you guys. Also, make sure to check out our video that should be coming out this weekend about new stuff. Surprise! Is it the opening of Arcovia's newest business? Potentially. See on Friday for patrons, Saturday for everybody else. Aeternia forever.